In today's episode, Amber asks, I'm applying to an MBA Specialized Masters in Marketing, and this question has been eating at me. I have a BS and MA in Communication with 3 years of teaching experience in higher education. Do you have any advice on using this experience in the application process? Interesting question. One thing I would ask, and no disrespect intended, are you sure that you need the MBA? It sounds like you're already fairly well qualified with both a BS and an MA in communications. Now, if you want the MBA for the academic knowledge, which is because the MBA encompasses things like operations, finance, accounting, the actual administration of business, then I think that's a great idea because certainly things like accounting and finance are total separate disciplines in a lot of ways, and having that experience with an MBA would be valuable for things like running your own business. So teaching is the aspect that I would leverage here. And the reason I say that is that teaching, when it's done well, when someone is a good teacher, encompasses a few different skills that are highly valued in the business space that a program would look at, that an employer would look at. Think of the MBA application process in some ways as a job interview, because it is in some ways, and think about your portfolio with that in mind. So what are the things that teaching gives us? Well, for one thing, teaching is public speaking at scale. You are a public speaker every day you walk in the classroom and deliver the information that you want the students to learn. And so there's a lot of value in emphasizing that. If you can get permission to do so, if you're assuming you still are teaching, you definitely want to do some video recordings of yourself teaching. You can crop out any of the images of the students if there's privacy concerns, but you want that experience recorded on video of here's you at the lectern, going through the lesson, fielding questions, demonstrating expertise. Those are certainly things that that video reel is very, very helpful for. Teaching is curriculum design, so it's thinking about how do you logically order a very large amount of information to get people to absorb it, and then it's in many cases content creation. It's not just throw the textbook on the table and say, hey kid, read this. Maybe that was the way it was done 30, 40 years ago, but today's modern classrooms certainly require a lot more interactivity, a lot more prepared materials by the instructors. So when you showcase your experience in the application process, you're showcasing that curriculum design and that content creation at scale, piles and piles of notes and slides and handouts and all the things that in, of course, an academic education setting like an MBA are going to be things that someone will prize, because when you're talking to academia about academia, it's a very familiar, relatable thing. Last time I was at Wheaton College, I was doing some guest teaching there with my friend C.C. Chapman, and when you are preparing a lecture for college students, it is as rigorous as preparing for a room full of thousands of people, because in many cases, when you're being a public speaker on stage at a conference, for example, most of the people are there because they want to be, and they're in your session because they want to be, and they're interested in your topic specifically. When you set foot into a classroom of college students who are there because they have to be, or they perceive themselves as they have to be, and they may not be as interested in your specific topic, it is a very challenging, in a good way, environment to how good of a speaker are you? Can you engage them? Can you get them interested? Can you get them from falling asleep? So being able to be that public speaker and to design that content for them that hopefully they can relate to, and then create it and distribute it. The third thing that the academic world, the teaching world, gives you is being able to manage people and design outcomes. Particularly in management, there are fundamentally two kinds of power, right? There is role power. I am the manager, you are the subordinate, you will do as I say, because or I will fire you, right? That is role power. In the second kind of power is relationship power. I'm a manager, but I want to help you as a person grow. I want to help you succeed, because if you succeed, I succeed. And you build that relationship with somebody. The teaching environment gives us lots of experience with relationship power, because barring, egregious misconduct, you can't fire a student, right? You can't expel them from your classroom for not doing what you say. And so you have to learn how to manage people solely with relationship power to get the outcomes that you want as a teacher. You want the student to learn. You want the student to succeed. You want the student to pass their exams and graduate with a decent GPA, which means they have to do the work, which means that you have to encourage them to do the work without beating them over the head, because you can't. You're not allowed to. You are not allowed to apply punitive measures to students, by and large, particularly in higher education, because there really aren't any other than the grade itself. So learning that relationship power and being able to demonstrate that you've learned the nuances of relationship power are very valuable, because in a lot of corporate settings, if you can use relationship power, you don't have to use role power. Role power, particularly when you use it clumsily, breeds resentment. It breeds bitterness. It creates passive-aggressive non-compliance. Whereas if you're using relationship power, you're saying to people, hey, here's the objective, and we both want to get there. You may not know that you want to get there, but here's how it benefits you, and here's what's in it for you. And if we do this together, we can achieve an outcome that helps both of us. And so that's, I think, probably the most undersold part of what teaching teaches you, is how to manage with relationship power, how to manage people when you don't have power, but you still need the outcome that you want. Because that role as teacher is significantly diminished in its power from the way it was 50 or 100 years ago. So, great question, and hopefully this is helpful. Think about the things that, if you're going for an MBA, you intend to go into management, right? Think about the things that managers value highly, that a program would want to teach you, and that you'd want to bring into the program to be able to share with your fellow students, and ideally succeed, so that your future career after the program is a credit to the institution which launched you. As always, if you have questions, please leave them in the comments, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel and the newsletter, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Want help solving your company's data, analytics, and digital marketing problems? Visit trustinsights.ai today and let us know how we can help you.